So finally we have started the TeXnic Center. Now we can go on with the first steps in LaTeX. So in order to type the commands, you have to first like a normal document, like create new file or project. New project we'll see when we are seeing the template of OvGU thesis template. Now to start on with, we create a new file, and then as usual we save it. I save it here as demo 1. Now something similar to a C language where each and every program has hash include stdio.h, some header files which is absolutely necessary for the program to execute. So here what you need to always remember is all the commands of LaTeX, all the commands starts with a backslash, which is this one, and then every document when you begin, this will be indispensable. Like it should start with document class. As you can see, the auto suggestion is coming up when we started to type document class, and then on brackets the type of the document, it's article, journal, book, or whatever is the type of the document what you're writing, letter, journal, article, book. Usually it's article for our thesis and stuff. So we go on with this document class, and then comes begin document. So as you can see, when you start this, it's begin document. As you can see, it's auto typing. So if you want to take on this automatically typed version, it's easier that when you start typing in, just press Ctrl and space together, then you get both automatically inserted. This is important, like there should be a begin document and there should be end document. If not, you will be getting an error. So such kind of small things you have to take care of. So whatever you're typing in between this begin document and end document, you will be getting it as you'll be seeing as a output in the PDF. For example, when I say like this is my first demo tutorial. So now we'll go out and check how the PDF looks. So for that we have to go to build, and before that here you can see, like in the configuration wizard, when we have started TeXnic Center for the very first time after installing, we have selected different output profiles. So you can see that here the different output profiles, what all is possible from this LaTeX, what all is possible. So we want output as PDF, so we select PDF, and you go on with build, current file, build, or build and view. So when we give build and view, we will be able to see the PDF document. Build and view, you can see the status message, and we got the PDF document finally. Here you can see this is my first demo tutorial, right? So here you can see also the page number is inserted. I did not put any specific command, as you can see here, for inserting the page number or something, but it's automatic. So this is the advantage of LaTeX. So many things are predefined, which is more professional. Okay, and so this is the PDF document. Now when we close this, here you can see the folder where we have saved this. A PDF called demo1 is automatically created. This is what we have seen right now. So this is what we have seen right now. So it's automatically created. Once you build, it's automatically created here. Once you build here, the PDF is automatically created in the folder where you have saved the text file. Okay, so this is the basics. Like this is how it works. This is the space. This is the editor where you'll be typing in and stuff. So the aim of this tutorial is mainly to give the introduction to this LaTeX and how you go on working with it. If there are any error messages, it comes here. We can see an example of that. If we go on, so all that you have to go on further, or you have to find it in the further future time period of your thesis or project, is that what comes in between this begin and end document, or what is such kind of, here you can see this is a keyword. Begin document, end document is a keyword. Similarly, you have begin equation. If you want to type a mathematical equation, then you need to have begin equation. You will get as begin equation. Again, I give control space, so it takes in automatically this keywords. So here you can see begin equation, end equation. So these are the keywords or syntax which you need to Google and search on for when you want different purposes. For your different purposes, you can Google and search on the small index syntax. What is it for equation? What is it for page reference? Or what is it for column width or something like that? Okay. So when we go on with begin equation, here you can see, for example, I say area. So whatever I type in between this begin and end equation will be appearing as a mathematical equation, like pi r square. Suppose if I type, you get r power 2 in the mathematical form. How you will be writing it? For example, I say area of the circle can be calculated as or using the formula. Then I need to enter the formula, right? This formula, I need this formula to be appearing as in the form of mathematical equation. So I enter into the equation mode, begin equation, end equation, and then I give a equal to pi r square. Okay. Now we try compiling this code. What we expect is, then in the PDF we should be getting this area of the circle can be calculated using the formula a equal to pi r square, right? When we try building this, we can see we are getting error, right? Here you can see we are getting error. You can also browse through the errors using this buttons. Here it goes to the line of the error. Where is the error exactly? So here you can see the error lies in this line. Okay, and it tells what is it all about. Also, it's an undefined control sequence. So here there is no, we just have to leave a space. This was the error. So these things, it will be easy. Like when you go on working, you will get more used to it, and then it will be much more easier for you to identify the errors. Now if we try building it, build it, you get no errors. And then even though if you give, the difference between this build and view is, in both the cases the PDF will be automatically created, but if it is build and view, the PDF will be automatically opened. That is the difference. Okay, if we give build and view, it's automatically opened, or else you have to go to the folder and then you have to double click on the PDF if you give only build. That's the difference. And then here you can see the equation number is automatically inserted, and here you're getting pi r square in the mathematical form. This is what we wanted, right? So this is how you can go on typing in the equations, and you can go on completing your report, and this is how it works. So this is the basic. Now we'll see, for this purpose in our WIT department there is already a predefined template available. So you don't have to start from the scratch, type from the beginning. Already a predefined template is available. We'll now see how to go on working with the template. So this is the link. This is also given in the non-technical project presentation. So this is a link from where you can actually download the LaTeX templates for your thesis report as well as for your final PPT presentation. The LaTeX template for your presentation. Here you can find two different zip files. Thesis template is the LaTeX template for your thesis report, and Beamer template is the LaTeX template for your final presentation. We'll see the thesis template first, the template for report. Just download it. I have it here. Download it. Unzip it. So this is the folder, and you can see it has two different files with the same name. If you check out the extension, this has .tcp extension, which can be opened only with TeXnic Center, and this thesis has the extension .tex. This can also be opened with TeXnic Center as well as with the other program called TextMaker. I have it both installed, that is why it was showing TeXmaker in the list here. This .tex can also be opened with TeXnic Center, but this file with the .tcp extension can open only with TeXnic Center. We'll see it is advisable to open with TeXnic Center. We'll see the advantage shortly. So first we'll try opening this. Just double click this. So this is the project. Yeah. So before starting, one important thing what you have to remember is here you can see the output profile which we have configured in the beginning. The first time we have started the when we installed the TeXnic Center, we have to define this we had this configuration wizard and we have defined this output profiles. Yeah. So LaTeX to PDF is what we usually select. Like we want the final output in the PDF format. So the first step, just remember that you have to go to tools, build, define output profiles. Here you can see the available output profiles. This is what you are actually selecting it from the list here. Right? So these are the different output profiles. So for our purpose, we want the final output in PDF format. Yeah. So just select this. Just copy the same profile. I'm just renaming it with the name called nomenclature, just a short form of nomenclature. Just creating a new profile. Just copying the profile, which is LaTeX PDF, to another, making a copy of that. This is this one, and then here, just replace this line with this. Okay, just note this down, and then just replace this with this. The main purpose of this is you might be having nomenclatures in your report. So for having that list of symbols and list of nomenclatures, for example, just to give you an example, here is just for example. So this has got nothing to do with our WIT report or thesis template. This is just an example, just taken randomly from the internet. So this is an example for nomenclature. Yeah? You just say this sigma and it's a total mass. This is an example of nomenclature. So for creating such kind of nomenclature in your report, it will be better or it's advisable to use to create this, to give this command line in the argument here by creating a copy of the LaTeX to PDF profile. Do this first. This is the first step, and then make that as your output profile. Yeah? LaTeX to PDF. Once you create a profile there, it automatically comes here in the list. And then make that as your output profile, LaTeX to PDF nomenclature. Yeah? Then it means that from LaTeX you want the final output in the form of PDF. Yeah? So this is one important setting which you have to make first. Then if you see here, this is a project. So in the beginning when we saw the demo, we have created a new file, right? So if you want such a kind of structure, section wise, and then this BibTeX, this literature is also included. When you want such kind of all-in-one feature, you will be actually creating a new project. We will not be creating a new project now, but just for your information. So this is a project. Okay. So here you can see different sections are available. There is abstract, there is glossary, introduction, the body, and then summary finally, and the list of references and appendix. Yeah. So if you just double click on this, you can see what is the content of the abstract. If you just double click on this introduction, you can see what is the content of the introduction. So now our final aim is, if you just see the folder which you have unzipped it, there is no PDF files, right? We have not created anything, we have not compiled anything from TeXnic Center, therefore there is no PDF file. Here, in order to get the PDF output, we have to actually build it. So there are two ways of doing that. One is, when you click on this, for example, the first one is when you double click on this bibliography, you can see a text file called Thesis getting opened. Yeah. So either you can build this thesis using the option build, current file, build, just building it, which means something similar to compilation. And you have 0 errors. This is very important, that you should not be having any errors for you to get the final PDF output. Instead of just only build, if you give, for example, build and view, soon after this, if there are no errors, the PDF file will be automatically opened using Sumatra PDF. Okay. If not, also the PDF file will be created. The only difference is it will not be automatically opened. As you can see here, the PDF file is not opened automatically. That is the difference between this build and view. Build just builds and creates the PDF file. This build and view opens the created PDF file. Okay. So now in the same folder, a PDF file is created. You can see a PDF file here, right? Just before some time, before compiling, we have opened this folder. It did not have any PDF file. Now after compilation, with no errors, a PDF file is created. So this is the final PDF output. Yeah. So here you have this abstract. An abstract is a brief summary of research article, for example. The same thing is what you have with TeXnic Center under the abstract section. If you can see, I close this. Here you can see an abstract is a brief summary of research article. So this is the same set of text which you have here, right? Now, as I said, there are two methods of compiling this or building this. What we have did now is we have built the thesis text file. Yeah. Suppose, for example, if you try building any other section, for example, abstract or introduction or glossary or appendix or whatever, any other section other than this thesis. Now let us try building this one, this abstract section, with the same procedure: build, current file, build. You can see there are errors, right? Which means you are not able to build it. If there are errors, then the PDF file will not be produced at the output. The file what you have here is still the old file. Okay. Suppose if I delete this and if I do the same thing again, build, I get errors and then there is no PDF file created here. Okay. So that's the main criteria. There should not be any errors for you to get the final PDF output. So why is this error? As you can see, if you compare this thesis, this is the kind of main file which you have compiled. Similar to what you have seen in the example, there is a begin document class. Yeah? So this is kind of this inside this begin document, you have the section called abstract, the declaration, the task, headings, introduction. These sections are defined. So this is kind of a main file or top file in the hierarchy which we are actually compiling it using this procedure called build, current file and build. Okay. But if you are trying to do the same thing with any other section, you will not be able to do if you follow the same procedure because it is incomplete. You don't have this begin document class or something here. It's kind of a subsection. Therefore, but if you are making any changes in the abstract, instead of again going back to the thesis and then compiling it, you can directly compile it from this subsection itself. For that, you should not follow the procedure like how we have followed before. Okay, this will give you error. Instead, you have to use this, which is build output. Not building the current file, but building the output. If you just give build output, you will not get any errors. Just before some time we have seen that when we follow the procedure like build current file, you will be getting errors. But when you give this build output, you will not be getting any errors. As you can see here, it is 0 errors. Now you would have got the thesis PDF. Okay, you can see this PDF is created. So this is useful. Say for example, if you are making any changes in the abstract section, for example, here I am adding this is a test line added to abstract. Okay, I give this. Now I have to save it, and then instead of going after saving it, I have two possibilities. As I said, you go back to thesis and then compile this using either this build current file build or build output is possible, or instead of doing this each and every time, instead of if I make a change in an abstract, I should be able to, it will be easier for me if I am able to compile it right from this section itself, instead of going back to the thesis again and compiling it again. If I make a change here, then I can compile it directly. So I made a change here, and just for your understanding, here I have thesis in the abstract section. I have this particular subject as the last line. What I do, I have added this and I have saved it also. So I have added this line. So now I give build output. So I am compiling it. Still getting compiled. Yeah, it's done. 0 errors. Yeah. Now if I go back, open the same file. Here you can see in the abstract this line what I have added. This is the test line added is there, right? What I have added has come back, right? So now what does this mean is that as per your thesis abstract, just make the change here in this part of the program. Like just type in your thesis abstract, what is your personal abstract. Similarly, introduction, similarly you make changes in list of acronyms, and similarly you make changes in all the other structures here, and then just give build output from any section. Yeah, then you will be able to get the output here. One note is, for example, I delete this. When I go and give this build output, you can see for example, yeah, it's over. So if you see, just open this and see, I can see this number, this reference number 1. Now sometimes it happens that you will not get this one if you when you're doing it for the first time, or sometimes if you're making any mistake in compiling, sometimes if you're giving instead of build output, if you're trying to do this build current file, sometimes it might happen. In that case, do the same procedure again, like build output again, so that, and then you will be able to get this references, the numbers, the reference numbers. Okay, this is one note. And yeah, the main advantage of doing this with TeXnic Center is the same thing as we have seen before. We had two files, yeah, this is the same name, this is the .tcp file and this was .tex file, right? So when you try using the other file, the other editor instead of TeXnic Center, if you try using the TeXmaker, if you're trying to use the TeXmaker, then here we have seen that if you want to make change in the abstract, just double click on this, go to this section, make the corresponding changes here, and then build the output directly. But if you are using the TeXmaker, the problem is, not the problem, but it's kind of little extensive procedure. Like you have to go to the sections. Here you can see there are different separate files: appendix, abstract, body, declaration, all separate. So if you want to make any change in the abstract, you just have to double click this, then a separate file will be opened, then you have to make the change in the abstract, and then save that, close it, come back to this thesis, then you have to open this thesis, then you have to compile this. You know, you're getting it's kind of more tedious, and then there are more chances that we make mistakes. That is why it's more advantageous with TeXnic Center that you have all in one here. You have a single file and you have everything here. Whatever you are going to do is just going to add sections or make changes in the sections, and then you're going to finally compile the single file, right? So this is the advantage compared to this text maker. Now, as we have seen in the very beginning that we have this installed MyTex, then the Sumatra PDF, and then this TeXnic Center. Yeah. So the Sumatra PDF is a default PDF. We have configured it for seeing the output. The same thing now. If you see, for example, I give build. This is abstract. I say build output. And I have it here, 0 errors. Yeah. Now it's done. Here you are able to see, for example, when I double click on this abstract, I am able to see that this is the abstract section, and then I am able to easily identify here that this is a section which is, I mean, here I am able to identify easily that this is the section which corresponds to this part of the LaTeX code, right? But this is, you can see, like it's some 26 pages, for example. But for your master thesis, for example, if you're having some 100 pages or something, and then later, at later part of time, if you do not know which part of the code belongs to which page here in the PDF, yeah, then it is advantageous that there is a method, there is an advantage of using this TeXnic Center also, that there is a method by which you can actually find out to which part of the PDF or in which page of the PDF this particular section comes. I'll show you how. For example, I do not know where this abstract comes, in which page of the PDF this abstract comes. I do not know. I need to find out that. So what I do, I just select this part, just click on this, for example, this abstract here anywhere, and then I say this view output F5. Okay, just click on this view output, then you can see this blue highlighted, it was just glowing in between, right? So it just opens the page which contains the line in which I had the cursor here, for example. So you can see this, it has been opened with Sumatra PDF, right? This is a default program PDF viewer what we have configured in the beginning. So for example, one more introduction. I just have this introduction. I just want to know in which page of my document, in which page of my final PDF document this introduction section comes. So I just keep on this line. I just give view output, and you can see, right? It just highlights with the blue highlighting. It just glows with the blue thing corresponding to the line where I had the cursor in my TeXnic Center. This is called forward search. That is searching from TeXnic Center in the PDF. That is, I have TeXnic Center code. I need to find out to which part of the PDF this lines comes. For that, I use this view output. This is called forward search. In the same way, when I want the reverse search, which means I have the PDF, then I just keep reading. For example, I go to this part, summary. Okay, here I want to do a reverse search, which means I need to find out which part of the LaTeX or which section of the LaTeX code contains this summary. That is what I need to find out. Just the opposite of what I did just now. The forward search is from LaTeX to PDF. Now The reverse search is from PDF to LaTeX. For this, all I have to do is I need to know where this summary comes. Just double click this, it will go to the TeXnic Center section of the code which contains this, which contains the code excuse me, which contains the code corresponding to this part of the PDF. Right? But Achtung, this is possible only if you are opening it with Sumatra PDF. Right? This is the reason why we have told that with Sumatra PDF. For example, just for comparison, I am showing you my if I open it with Adobe Acrobat Reader. Okay, here I go to say introduction. Okay, I just double click on this, nothing happens. I can't find out where is which part of the LaTeX document contains this, which part of the LaTeX code contains this section. It is not possible. Why? Because I have it here in the viewer, the default viewer as Sumatra PDF, right? So this is the reason. This is not important to know. This is not important for proceeding with your report writing, just for information. So this is the reason why all you have to remember is you have to open it with Sumatra PDF. If you are comfortable, you can also make the Sumatra PDF as a default PDF viewer for your entire laptop or for your entire system. Then you will not have any problems. Like whenever you are opening any PDF, it just opens by default with Sumatra PDF. Or else also, just make sure that when you want to do this reverse search, that is from PDF to LaTeX, when you want to do that, just make sure that you are opening it with Sumatra PDF. Okay, only then if you are double clicking, just a double click takes you to the section of the LaTeX code which belongs to this output. Okay, so this is the forward and reverse search, which might be helpful in the long run when you have a big list of documents, or when you want to when you have some template, and when you want to find out, when you want to explore more, this will be really helpful. So this is the final main document which you have compiled, right? So here you can see its input settings. Yeah, there's something called as settings. If you go back to the folder where you have unzipped the thesis template, here you can see a LaTeX document called settings. If you just open with TeXnic Center, the settings file, you can see here the document class is defined. What should be its A4 size, its one side, and then the headings and the font size are all defined here. It's all defined in this document. This is the reason why, for example, when we are seeing this abstract section, here we just say it's a section. We are not defining exclusively what is the font size, what is the font style, or what is the alignment. We are not defining anything here separately. Yeah, it's because it is already defined. It's all defined, and then this is more advantageous and more organized, that you don't have to each and every time do it exclusively. So if you want to make some changes, just make in this settings. For example, we already had this thesis.pdf, right? So here you can see the font size. Yeah, it's normal font, which is 12 point. So when you want to make any changes, for example, I make the changes in the settings file. Suppose, for example, I just double this font size. It's only here where I have to double it, and then importantly save it. And as I said, this thesis is the final document which you need to compile. Make the changes in setting, make the changes in abstract, declaration, wherever you want, and then finally compile only this thesis. Yeah, build. and it's always better or advisable to close the previous PDF before you are making any changes, and then finally open after it is finished compiling, and then view it. Okay, because sometimes if you keep this PDF, this Thesis PDF, if it is already opened, then you might be getting an error. So here, can you just notice the difference of the font size? Here it's like everything is 24 as we have defined there. So we did not define separately in abstract or separately to introduction or separately to this body, right? We have just defined it once and then it's taken already. This is one advantage, right? And following that, if you just see this setting, here you can see it's use package. So this will be, if there is something more difficult with LaTeX, this will be a kind of your part or your difficulty in finding what package you need to use for what. Because if you are not using the package, you might be getting an error. For example, in any programming language, just for comparison I'm telling, any programming language, if you're using a command called add, just for example, if you're using a command called add, then this compiler should know what it has to do for this particular command called add. For that, you should be loading or telling the compiler beforehand that you will be using a set of mathematical commands. Something similar like including the header files in a C program. You will be include stdio.h, standard input output.h, right? So that gives you the for printf, scanf and all those things, you have that stdio.h included. If you do not include that stdio.h, even if your when your entire program is right, you will be getting errors, right? Similar to that, here you need to include the right packages based on whatever you have used in the program. Suppose for example, you might be using we have seen that in the PPT there was the PPT folder was there. I mean, like the ready-made template was available in the PPT, where there were also you can see that there are also different logos. Like in the PPT, of course, in your thesis report also, you can see there will be logos, there will be images, graphics which you need to include. So for that, you need to include the package. So here you can just, if you scroll down, you can see that a package called graphic axis included, right? So these packages, if you're not including this package, then you will not be able to include any of the images in your PDF document. This is just for example. So something like that, you need to include all the packages. Those packages are listed here. I can just show you the link where, yeah, here's just a wiki books. So here you have the list of packages and the purposes of the packages here. So here you can see, for example, it's Babel, it's for internationalization, right? It says it's for internationalization. And then this Babel, you can see it here in the beginning that we are first loading this package called Babel, right? Just for your understanding I'm telling. So like that, you need to find the package. You can just do that by googling it based on, like, as you proceed with your thesis. So for your specific task, if you need any special symbols or some special tasks to be completed, for that what package you need, you have to find it and include it here. Okay, so that is one more important thing about these packages. If you're not doing that, even though if your syntax and everything is right, you'll be getting errors, so be careful on that. And also for generating the list of references, like there is a separate short video for getting started with Citavi, but again it's recommended in our faculty to use Citavi. That if you use Citavi, even if you're using Word for your report writing, then there is a add-on for Word also, which is explained in that video. As well as here you can see in this TeXnic Center, here you can see something called as bibliographic literature, right? Those are these 4 literatures you can see here. Literature, if you just double click on that, you can see this is opening this literature. This is the bibtex format, yeah. If you just go back to the folder where you have unzipped this, here there is a bibtex file called literature. That is what we are actually loading it here in this thesis, bibliography literature, right? That is what we are loading it here, this literature. How this BibTeX file is created is, this is the list of references. Yeah, you can directly insert that here in the using this set of commands, as we have seen here. This is the set of commands, or like to be in an organized way. What we are doing it, we are creating it in Citavi or JabRef. The main aim is to get the BibTeX file, BibTeX output file. Once you have that BibTeX output file, you can use that in this LaTeX document. For that, you just see shortly how to do that. If we create a new project in Citavi, just follow project. So we create a new project in Citavi. And we get it. For enabling this feature, just go to Tools, Options, and then here you can just, this will not be by default checked. Just check this text support, and then make this default word processor as TeXnic Center. You have a list of things. You can select word also, as you can see in the list. When you double click on a reference, what has to happen? Insert in TeXnic Center. Just make these changes here in the Tools, Options, Citavi. Okay, just click OK, and then we have here a list of references, right? This is a BibTeX file. We can just see, we can just import that file, import. We need to import the BibTeX, right? BibTeX. So import a file. What is that file? It's a literature file. Just browse that. The BibTeX file. Here you can see the same list. Yeah, the same list what you have seen here. It's the same list, right? Just import all this. Yeah, you have this 5. Suppose if you want to add 5, all the 5, for example, add to the project, then here you can see the list here, right? The references, the quotations, you can see. So in Citavi, the same way how you are working, whatever changes you want to make, whatever set you need to add as quotation, direct quotation, indirect quotation, you make all the changes. You just do that, and then finally you can just add it in your TeXnic Center program. Here you can see an option called Cite, Insert in TeXnic Center, right? If you insert in TeXnic Center, automatically it will be inserted. Just for example, if I can show you, for example, here, just for your understanding purpose, just to be clear, here I keep the cursor, and then I select one book. I say Cite, Insert in TeXnic Center. Then I have it here. So actually I have, if there are two monitors, like if you can open and keep both the files simultaneously, as you can see, I just minimize this and then Cite, Insert in TeXnic Center, I get nothing here. But if you can open and keep both the files like Citavi as well as TeXnic Center simultaneously, and I keep the cursor here, so you can see Cite, Insert in TeXnic Center, I just see this writing it here, right? If I can open this and keep simultaneously, I get this. Or you can simply just copy to clipboard, and then I can just paste it here in TeXnic Center, just normal paste, and I get with the command what has to be cited, right? So this is one advantage, like there is a connection between this whichever source you want to cite, then and there you can just open and keep Citavi, as well as during the time when you're writing the report, you can do that parallelly. So it's like more organized. Or you can just initially make all the list of references in Citavi, and then wherever you want to cite whichever citations, and whichever references you can just do that with cite insert in TeXnic Center and then do that. It's much more advantageous, yeah. And then if you are adding any, suppose some 3 more references, okay, and then say for example you're selecting these 2, and then you need to make these 2 as a, like here how we had a separate text file called literature, you wanted a separate file, text file, then you just select only the list of references what you want, or the entire list of references, and then how we have used the import command initially, now it's like we can export this as a text file, yeah, file export, and then the 2 selected reference or all the references, then you can export it as a text file, yeah, save to a text file. I can just give a name called test literature, yeah, and then next export completed successfully, yeah. If you can go back here, there is one more thing what you have created, test literature, text file is created, right? So using Citavi you can actually create the list of references what you want, a separate set of references, and then you can include, like here we have included like literature, right? We have included it like in the thesis, we have included the bibliography, here the literature, like that test literature or whatever file you are creating, you can include the entire thing, and you can cite also wherever. The citation you can see, for example in abstract, you can see here it's like cite wiki abstract, they are citing it here, right? So if you see the literature, set of literature, here wiki abstract is here, right? So that is what we are citing it here. So if you can have the same set opened in Citavi, so here is a Wikipedia abstract, so all I have to do is just select this cite insert in TeXnic Center, then I get this one. So I don't have to exclusively type the entire thing, I just have to insert in TeXnic Center, it just comes here and I get the citation, right? So from here, Beamer template, you can download the template, ready-made template for LaTeX template for this PPT, final presentation of your thesis as well as your non-technical project or your integrated project. So just download that, unzip it, and then here you can see. So there, like we have opened the final document, which is thesis.tcp, right? Here it's presentation.tcp. Just double click that, open with TeXnic Center. Then you will get it, the final file. So here again you have this introduction, just double click on this introduction, body equation. So wherever you want to make the changes, you can make the changes and then finally compile it. The compiling procedure is same like before, building view. So you get this final PDF, right? So this is a presentation. So here you can see the logos are there, like EMB logo, and then the university logo, and then here for example this figure of logo of the university. So all these things you can find it here. It's just for your understanding, I'm telling like this for comparison. So inside these figures you can see this uni logo, it is there as a, it's already available, and this uni logo is the name of the file which you can find it, for example you can find it for example in under these figures. So initially there is introduction, and then it just says the text. So this item tells I mean it means that it's kind of a list bullet list of items, and then you have the equations like a square math mode, and then comes the figures, yeah. So here there is a file name called as unilogo, which is what we inserted here. That is the file name we have seen here, right? It's a file name. So similar to that, you have this logos, which is we have seen. So what does this mean? This EMV, which is here, this part. So what does this mean is like it's all predefined. You can just have it as a separate files, and then wherever you need you can include it just in the command here. Yeah, and then this part says in the PDF here you can see it's a sign. Yeah, but here in the folder if you check you will not be having any in this folders you will not be having any JPEG image or PDF of this image. So this is actually generated. If you just go through this set of codes, it is actually the sine wave is actually generated in this part of code. So that is also possible, like you can directly insert it or you can generate it actually there live. Yeah, so and then this is a table, and then you have this list items again. Here you can see it's again item, which means a list item. So this backslash item is a keyword for listing it. So this you need to find out. This kind of simple, you can find it in the quick reference, some 10-15 pages document where there is all list of all commands and stuff. You can do it there. So this is the PDF. So this is already readily available. So only thing is like you have to just make or include as per your presentation the wordings there, and then you are done. So this link, from this link you can just download. It's also given in the non-technical project presentation seminar. So this kind of a list of commands. So here if you see it's kind of something like some 15 pages 14-15 pages document where you have the symbols and commands, list of commands, what command you have to use. For example, here you see like if you want to use this symbol, then you need to use this command, like, and you should be in math mode. For that you need to define this math package. Yeah, use this math package like that. Here you have the list of commands, and then from this link you can get that, and then from this link it's kind of more extensive document. It's like comprehensive LaTeX symbol list. Here you can see, as I've told, if you want to use different symbols like this triangle, rectangle, and so for all these symbols what you need to, what are the commands, yeah, it's all given here. This is much more extensive, and then it's a complete list of commands. So maybe just for your information, so that later when you want, so here for example for your digital electronics, if you need the gates, it's all there. So this just for your information, so that later when you need it you can just go and refer it quickly.